The eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. We are the nation's leader in outsourced dental billing. Our clients require highly skilled dental office managers that can consult with client offices.
So welcome to the eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. I am your host, Andre Quintana, and I am here in the Raleigh area of North Carolina. And I am so excited because I have a special guest this evening, but I do want to talk about the recognition of eAssist with the prestigious award again for 2 years in a row of joining the Inc. 500. Some of the most elite companies are in that group of organizations that make businesses great. And, you know, as Dr. Anderson has put it, that he has come with this company to really solve a problem from personal experience to knowing what offices and dentists have to face day in and day out. But thank you for joining us. You guys have been so loyal. Our eAssist Nation out there, thank you. Any doctor listening, we welcome you, and we hope that you take something from the show. But I don't want to delay anymore. We have our special guest, Sarah Barnes. She's an account executive, and she is in Florida, right? Sarah, how are you today?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. So I am excited. We have been talking for a couple of weeks now about coming on the show. And I bet you're so excited to be here too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I live in Florida. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I am a Floridian. I'm an Air Force grad. Been in dentistry for quite a while. Have just me and my husband, we're empty nesters. I have all grown children. So I have a 27, a 26, and a 21-year-old. And I have 9 grandbabies. And I heard I have one on the way.
Well, I can hear all that through your youthful voice. I love it. I get to talk to so many wonderful eAssisters. I am the luckiest person in the world because I also get to work in a busy dental office that is owned by Dr. Jane. She is also a client, by the way, and couldn't be happier. So you told us a little bit about yourself. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I am the host of eAssist, the Dental Solution podcast, and we talk about all of the wonderful things that are happening in the dental world with dental billing. So how did you find eAssist?
I was actually working in an office, and eAssist was actually doing our claims. So that's how I found out about it.
Oh my. So, you know, I've spoken to some people that have said that they found eAssist on an ad that they saw and oh gosh, I thought that was too good to be true, right? To work from home and take care of your family. Mm-hmm. Did you think when you first saw it that it was too good to be true?
Oh, I didn't believe it was real until I got my first paycheck.
So then what happened next? When you saw what was going on, when
I actually found that it was actually genuinely real, I got really excited. And I just kept pushing forward from that point on.
That is great. Now, doing this and doing it from the comfort of your home, how has eAssist changed your life?
Oh my. Andrea, when I worked in the office, I was highly stressed, had diabetes really bad, high blood pressure really bad. Once I became full-time with eAssist, I started working out at the Y. I lost 35 pounds. Wow. My sugars went down where I didn't need insulin. Mm-hmm. Just became very, very happy. Life was totally different for me. Just to be able to get a cup of coffee in the morning and then start my day right in my house was wonderful.
Wow. I want to unpack that a little bit more because if you had been in the dental office, but you had eAssist working with you. So let's switch the hats a little bit. You're not at eAssist. You have eAssist helping you out so that you can do what you do best, which is help the patients. How would that have made life different?
It was different for me, especially when eAssist came up in the office and they started doing the billing, because that's something that I used to do in the office. It gave me more of a freedom where I could work with the patients, get their treatment plans, and focus on their needs, not having to worry about the everyday things that needed to be done in the office. So it was I think eAssist is wonderful with what they do for the front office. I think if you work the front desk or you're the office manager, it gives you a sense of relief.
So let me tell you what happens when you're in a busy dental office that produces a lot, which is what we all want, right? You sometimes get so busy that, all right, if we go to claims that are pro fee exam and 4 bite wings, that's fine. You click a button, the claim is gone. And by the way, sometimes there's incorrect information, so even those claims suffer a little bit. But when you have these crowns and implant cases and 3-unit bridges and you have to produce these narratives and the notes have to be and you're an assistant and you're trying to get through all the verbiage and the notes and the details, and sometimes it's a struggle when you're really busy to properly create the claim. So some claims are not properly created and they're sitting there. Is that right? Now, that's where everything gets stressed, because now the doctor is getting stressed out because the money's not coming in. The staff gets to hear about it. Then the phones are ringing. I'm going to take you through the whole thing because I've been through there. Okay. The phones are ringing. People are coming in and Sarah's going to put them on hold because nothing's getting done. But the doctor wants great customer service, great patient care, everything flowing right, but nothing's flowing. Is that a true picture?
Right. That is a true picture. That is an absolute true picture.
So what's next? What do you do?
Well, you have to make sure you gain control.
Right.
Because the person standing in front of you gets all your attention. You have lab cases that need to go out. You have to make sure all of those things are taken care of. And then you still have to answer the phone and answer any questions your doctor may have for you. So, yeah, that's the average life of a dental front desk person.
Yeah, and what I have learned is that the attention, now we're going to switch hats again, and we're going to put eAssist in our office. We're role playing here. We're almost like in a classroom here. Okay. We put eAssist in our office, and let me tell you what happens now. Okay, there's more attention to detail. Okay, they ensure that your collections are more quickly of outstanding balances, both on the insurance side and on the patient side, because having a good grasp on the insurance collections, all right, then narrows down on the patient, so you can see clearly which one's which. As when things are not being done properly, there's a whole mess of who you're billing and how you're billing, and then patients are getting upset, and that's where the patients start to leave your office. What are your thoughts?
Right. I totally agree with what you're saying. I think eAssist comes in and it's like a breath of fresh air because, like I said, you are able to pay attention to your patients. You are able to give them that one-on-one attention without having to worry about the back end or worry about if you're going to meet the production goals for the month or what you're going to collect. So I really think that it is a great help.
Right. Excellent. That's great. Now, I have a question about primary and secondary claims. What is the proper way to do that? Do you have a system, Sarah, for how you handle? Because those are claims that give a lot of offices trouble if your staff doesn't know how to do it. And that's another thing that eAssist does. They have experts that know the proper way of doing this. And if they come across something really difficult, there's 300 other eAssisters out there that have the answer for you. What are your thoughts?
Primary and secondary is a big thing because you have to make sure that you actually input it in the system correctly. A lot of them go by the date of birth. So you got to make sure that you have it properly inserted. If not, it's going to get rejected by the insurance company, and then you have to resubmit a claim again, which takes maybe another 2-3 weeks for you to get the information in the office. Me personally, when I see them come through, When I post for the primary claim, I go ahead and immediately send off for the secondary. So that way there's no delay, everything's attached and we can get payment in time.
Wow. And, prior to eAssist joining our office, the doctor used to ask me what the average rate was of, claims being paid, like how long the claims would take. And I truly didn't have an answer for that. Sometimes I would get 3 to 4 weeks, but then some claims would go 2-3 months. When eAssist takes control of the claims, what do you think the average turnaround? If there's a doctor starting a practice today, if you can educate them.
Oh, I would say no more than 5 to 7 days for the turnaround for it to come back.
Is amazing.
The average, I would say 21 days at the most. But
Right.
5 to 7 days, that claim should be turned around.
Oh my goodness. Think about that. 5 to 7 days, even on crowns?
Well, crowns are a little iffy.
Right.
But if you send all the proper documentation, it should turn around in 5 to 7 days. And like I said, it should be no more than 21 days. If you see a claim sitting there 21 days, there's something wrong. You should be calling the insurance company and find out what's going on.
That is amazing because the patient is only really, it's a 2-hour procedure, right? For crown prep. You have some dentists that are super fast, but still most dentists would want at least hour and a half, 2 hours to prep. And then would that be right? I mean, at least from experience. And then you have patients paying you only half of the amount, and you have the lab fees and you have payroll and all these things. And if your crown claim is out there for 3 months, imagine how much is sitting on the table. Wow.
Right.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. I'm having doctors probably, driving down the road and circling the office a little bit because they're commuting to work as they listen to us, but they want to hear more of this. So if you're thinking about it, of calling eAssist, or we have a very informative website of dentalbilling.com or eassist.com. And we also have our toll-free number, which is 844-327-7478. But what a wonderful thing. Is there anything else with billing issues that you maybe wanted to educate our audience on?
I would just say that a lot of times, if you make sure you get all the proper documentation means a lot. If you do perio, root scaling and planning, you need the perio charting, you need the x-rays, make sure you have those in the system. Make sure that you're properly noting the patient's accounts. So in case we have to go in there and find a narrative, we can create one from the notes that you put in. But if you don't have any notes, we have to kind of build it off the top of our head, or we have to bother the office to get the doctor to write one for us. We never want to do that. We want to be able to handle everything ourselves without having to bother the office. So I would just say make sure the staff, does all the proper protocols. If you got a crown, they're going to ask for x-ray for that crown. So just make sure everything's in place so that when we submit the claims, we can submit all proper documentation and the claims can get paid in a timely manner.
And it's a snowball effect because let's go back to that. The only person that can have the proper documentation is really the doctor. So what eAssist does is they make everything easy for the clinical team so that the doctors can, cross the T's and dot the I's. Isn't that true? Because it's when everything is chaotic that the proper documentation is not provided. Right. To the front desk. I'm not even talking about eAssist. It happens in the offices without eAssist being involved. So what eAssist does is makes it easy for these processes to take place. Would you agree with that?
Right. Yes, I do.
The other thing I love that I want to spend a little time is that eAssist really gives, and you may have touched on this in the beginning about what made your life special again, is that eAssist makes it easy and possible for an office manager and dental teams to really take time off, because they don't have to worry about, oh, if so-and-so takes a vacation at this time, we're so behind in claims that, oh no, this is not the right time. There's never a right time, right? But when the office is running great, when the accounts receivables and the bank account is growing, isn't that a fun office to be at?
It is. It is.
Have you
It's
heard?
a wonderful thing.
Have you heard stories?
Yeah, I would never take off because I was so scared that things would get out of order. But once we had eAssist working on aging, making sure our payments were posted, I was okay with going out of town for a week because I knew that back end was taken care of.
And I want to highlight that just a little bit more because I don't know what it is, and I've been in this industry working alongside Dr. Jane for a long time and, the eye care industry, which is where I've spent 25 years. But in dental offices, we really have people that when they're working, they care. They really care. And when they decide that they don't want to take the time off, guess what, doctors? It's that they care about you. They care about you. And it's not, no great dental team wants to leave the doctor struggling. So when these things start happening, it's really not that the staff wants to kind of, stick you with all the work and all the trouble. It's just that there's not enough time in a day. There isn't. Mm-hmm. And that's where eAssist comes in. This is what I have noticed. What I have noticed is that last year we were able to take a vacation and the whole staff was out of the office. I had one person kind of managing the phones and making sure that, we were screening the emergencies and that the doctor that we had kind of taking calls had proper, someone to talk to and things like that. But eAssist was working on all our claims. And it was a beautiful thing to see. Have you heard stories about other offices having the same success?
I'm quite sure there's a lot of success stories out there as far as eAssist coming in and playing a role.
Right. And how are your offices doing?
The offices are doing wonderful. I have some really great doctors I work with, really great front office staff, great rapport with them. It's nice to work with them. And it's nice working with nice people. I have a couple of offices that just switched over to the certain softwares, and I've, gotten up and trained them, helped them get acclimated to the system, answered any questions that they have. My phone probably rings a whole lot during the day, and I don't have a problem with answering any of them. I love my relationship that I have with all my offices.
That's great. So now I have one more question for you, Sarah. So at the end of the day, what is the key thing that you think summarizes how you have helped a dental office be successful in all of your offices? What is one key thing that you do and that you spread to the rest of your team that you think is the key to make other offices successful?
Oh, the message to Garcia. I just believe in giving your all, being a part of the team, going above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that everything is well in your offices for their success and for you. So
just take that boat and land in the coast of Cuba and deliver that message.
Yes.
Could you believe that that's how I came from Cuba to the U.S. on a boat? So yes. So I brought the message here to Garcia, and I'm so happy to be in this country. It's so great. But thank you so much for coming on the air. This has been fun, right? Did you have as much fun as you expected?
Yeah, thank you so much.
So you're going to tell other eAssisters and any other dentists or any dental teams from your offices to come on this great podcast so we can put the spotlight on them a little bit. How about that?
Absolutely. It is a must-do.
Thank you so much. Spread the word. Keep up the great work. And I hope to see you in Summit.
All right. I hope to be there.
All right, Sarah. Well, have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
We hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the eAssist Dental Solutions podcast. We love to put the spotlight on the individuals for their outstanding work for our clients.